It's been estimated that more than 1 in 10 Australian children have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or ADHD. The use of drugs to treat symptoms of the disorder has always been controversial, with around 20% of diagnosed children using medication to overcome problems with disruptive behaviour, concentration and learning. A recent government review into ADHD has identified a need for more behavioural therapies, and one Sydney University research team believes it may have found an innovative treatment which, in some cases, could be an alternative to medication. Rebecca Bailey reports.
Remember? Give that a click. We're going to try and make it snow.
It may look like Nicholas Tragot-Salis is enjoying some downtime, but this 6-year-old is helping researchers develop groundbreaking non-drug therapy for ADHD.
Most children are interested in computer games, so it's a great way to get them to focus.
Would you like to place the name underneath the shape for us?
Nicholas Tragot-Salis has not always been this confident. Not long after he started school, he began having problems both at home and in the classroom.
Is Nicholas right? Yes. Fantastic. Good boy.
He started acting out a little, very fidgety and easily distracted, so he was trying to mask that he couldn't do the task by playing up a little.
I've been crying a lot.
Why were you crying?
Because I was saying I can do it over and over again.
Can you name that shape for me?
His teacher suspected Nicholas Tragot-Salis had a learning difficulty and suggested he see a specialist.
The paediatrician indicated that he had the characteristics of attention deficit disorder. How many red fish are there? Don't be silly. Come on, concentrate. I didn't want to believe that that was the diagnosis, but I came to accept it because he needed the help, and I was really concerned that emotionally it was affecting him.
Professor Philip Mitchell was the chairman of a recent review into ADHD by the New South Wales Health Department.
This is actually a very common problem. We think of this as a slow development of brain functioning, so that there's a developmental delay in the brain of these children. Most kids grow out of it as they get older.
He says approximately 1 in 5 Australian children with ADHD are being prescribed stimulant medication, and that the New South Wales review exposed a real need for more behavioural therapies.
Most prescribers of stimulants wanted to use other treatments like behaviour therapy, speech therapy, etc. But what the survey and the audit both identified was difficulty in accessing such services.
I've just been going over the basic raw stats.
Yeah. Psychologist Andrew Campbell and PhD student Christina Amon urge more non-drug treatments are needed. They're researching the benefits of a computer game which teaches children the tools to relax.
Children are very receptive to new technology. I wanted to find something that would engage them for long periods of time to change their behaviour.
The bell that you have will guide you.
The research focuses on an off-the-shelf computer game in which the player wears biofeedback sensors measuring heart rate and skin temperature. Unlike typical fast-paced computer games, this game requires very different strategies for the player to win.
It's a lot of breathing techniques. So instead of trying to raise their heart rates by doing shooting games or racing games, they would use their breathing and a lot of mind power to control what they see on the screen.
It helps you relax and be concentrating very well in homework at school.
Yeah, so we're going to do what kind of breathing?
Slow.
Good boy.
Nicholas Tragot-Salis is one of 24 children aged between 5 and 15 who've been part of the Sydney University trial.
Breathing out. Good, relaxing.
More than half of the children involved were also on stimulants, but Nicholas Tragot-Salis had never used medication.
When he came in, he was very fidgety. He would sort of swing on his chair, look around the room. Whenever it came up to an activity where he couldn't pass it, he'd get quite teary. And as we went through, he became a lot calmer. No tears by halfway through, and just a lot more self-confidence. When they first came in, the difficulties were definite. and you could see.
Pretty clear, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dr. Andrew Campbell says initial results from the trial are very encouraging, with participants translating their newfound skills from the game into real life.
Improved mood at home, in the school, more attention, better sleeping, better eating. But we have yet to actually see how the game is going to benefit an ADHD child over a very long period of time.
As long as there was an appropriate control or comparison group involved, so that we could make sure it just wasn't the attention being paid to the children by the researchers, that I think biofeedback is potentially a very promising therapy.
For Janet Tragot-Salas, the research came at just the right time for her son, who's now happy and thriving at school.
After the biofeedback, he just could sit down and apply himself, and it was minimal supervision really, and it was quite amazing because he really was struggling before that.
Now I'm saying I can do it, I can do it, I can do it.
Rebecca Bailey with that report.